Okay, and today we are here with a budget build that I did per requested. I had someone ask me to build them a Niv-Mizzet the Firemind Curiosity combo deck. And I sat down and this is what I built. With what I scanned in through TCG Player, it was coming in at right around $50. So this is a pretty affordable and pretty budget-friendly deck. Should work pretty well. The gentleman was able to play test it a few times last Wednesday, and they seemed pretty happy with it. So let's get into it. Here we have our commander, Niv-Mizzet the Firemind, 2 blue and 2 red. And here's our cornerstone card. He is going to combo with Curiosity, which we will get to in just a minute. 4/4 flyer. Whenever you draw a card, Niv-Mizzet the Firemind deals 1 damage to any target, and he taps to draw a card. The main goal here, let's scroll down just a little bit, is to get to our enchantment, Curiosity. Whenever enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. So this with Niv-Mizzet lets us just go right on ahead and machine gun down the entire field as we fill our hand. Wipes out our opponents. And yeah, so long as we don't deck out, we have a solid 2-card combo. But the deck is more than just that, because clearly we have to get to Curiosity. And this is a budget deck, so gamble's a little out of the price range. So what else do we have in here? Start off with Dragon's Rage Channeler. This guy, because we are casting so many non-creature spells, is going to surveil and get us closer to our Curiosity. We have Siren Stormtamer offering some protection for our Niv. Dismissive Pyromancer letting us rummage and also acting as some removal. Electrostatic Field dealing some extra damage for all the instants and sorceries that we play. Magmatic Channeler acting as some reckless draw. Pyromancer to make tokens. Bazaar Trader Mage to draw. We don't care about discarding 3 cards when he comes in, so long as we have access to our Curiosity. Gutter Snipe to deal more damage. Magus, Forgotten Creation, both acting as looting effects. With Windrider Wizard. That's a tongue twister. Windrider Wizard also acting as a looting effect every time we cast an instant or sorcery. Talrand will make us more creatures to give us an alternate win condition. Disciple of the Ring here, it acts as protection for our Niv, and it gives us a way to tap and untap Niv even if we don't have Curiosity on the field. Hypersonic Dragon lets us cast sorceries at instant speed, which is important for our board wipe package, because blue is pretty good at having some powerful board wipes, but at sorcery speed. Thundering Djinn, because we're going to be drawing a bunch of cards, he should be able to deal quite a bit of damage when we get going. Hey guys, so it was right at about this point that I realized that I have a 101 card main deck with an extra Niv down here in the list. This is just a fluke from the copy-paste function. Really doesn't affect the build at all. We have our commander, and this is just a fluke. So yeah, for anyone who wants to hop in the comments and point that out, yeah, I saw it. Not going to go ahead and re-record the whole thing. So, congrats. If you noticed, you get a cookie. Moving on to our sorceries, we have Careful Study and Faithless Looting fitting the exact same spot in red and blue, drawing 2 and discarding 2, allowing us to sculpt our hand and get closer to Curiosity. Ponder, Preordain, Contingency Plan, all doing similar things here, letting us look at the top few cards of our library, get rid of what we don't need, and then get what we do. Displacement Wave, Incendiary Command, Whelming Wave, and Crushing Tentacles. Crush of Tentacles, all acting as removal. Ignite the Future, giving us some extra draw, albeit recklessly. And Rise from the Tides to make a board full of huge zombies, hopefully at instant speed with our Hypersonic Dragon, that we can untap and kill our opponents with, since we'll have so many 2/2 zombies. Moving on to our instance, we have Dispel, Spell Pierce, Stubborn Denial, Turn Aside, Counterspell, and cards like Mission Briefing and Thassa's Intervention, as well as Lazotep Plating and Sinister Sabotage, Finding the Villain's Lair, and Bolt Bend, all acting as protection for our Niv. We want to get Niv down, and we want him to stay down, so that when we do find Curiosity, we can resolve it and win the game. Some of the other cards we have here for selection and for speeding up our game plan: Epiphany, to dump a bunch of cards into our hand in the graveyard; Quicken, to give our next sorcery flash speed; and also cantrips, one to give a sorcery instant speed and to draw. Pretty useful. Anticipate, to go through our top 3. Commune with Lava as a big X payoff that hopefully will get us into our Curiosity. The fact that this is instant speed means we can hold up all of our counter magic, and if our opponents don't do anything, we can play this with all of our mana and hopefully land into our Curiosity so we can go off the next turn. Fire Prophecy, Impulse, Mission Briefing, Frantic Search, even Thassa's Intervention, looking at multiple cards to try and find our Curiosity. The whole deck is geared around digging through our library to find Curiosity. This is the specific goal that I was requested to build around, was Niv and Curiosity. So I really wanted to highlight that and speed up this process of finding Curiosity. Risk factor, being able to jumpstart it back from the graveyard, is a pretty big highlight, because we are going to get that extra incidental damage, and if otherwise we get to draw some cards. We have Thirst for Discovery, Knowledge, and Meaning. We don't care about discarding 2 cards so long as we find our Curiosity. Engulf the Shore and Aether Spouts act as instant speed removal. And then we have Factor Fiction, Fateful Showdown, and Steam Augury, all looking at a bunch of cards and putting them into our hand. Expansion Explosion is a little niche. Let us copy one of our lower mana instant spells and get a little bit of extra value out of our Ponder or Preordain, perhaps. And then we have Explosion, which is a great X spell to dump all of our mana into, to shoot down something that could be coming our way, or kill an opponent, and draw a bunch of cards on top of it. Moving into our artifacts, we only have a couple here. We have Izzet Signet and Talisman of Creativity. Blue does not get much in the way of ramp, while red does. We really want to emphasize the card draw effects, and that doesn't leave a lot of room for other good mana rocks. Again, this is a budget deck. Let's move on to our enchantments. We have our namesake, Niv Curiosity. So The whole goal of this deck is to find curiosity. That's the point. Next, we have a wizard class, giving us no maximum hand size, drawing us cards, and making our creatures bigger whenever we draw cards. Firemind's Research gives us a bit of extra utility, allowing us to draw cards or deal damage. Ominous Seas lets us make 8/8 Krakens whenever we remove 8 counters from it. And we should be drawing enough cards with this that we get to make 2, 3, or 4 Krakens pretty easily. Teutonic Reformation is in here to get rid of extra lands that we don't need. Psychic Corrosion to provide an alternate win condition, and Precognition Field because we are playing so many instants and sorceries that this, letting us play an extra card from the top of our deck, is extremely valuable. Our lands are pretty basic. Castle Vantress for scrying, Desolate Lighthouse to give us some looting, Emergent Zone for flash. We have a series of fixing lands. We have Wilds, Forgotten Cave, and Lonely Sandbar for cycling. Furyborn Snarl, Panorama, Highland Lake Boilerworks, Guildgate, Silver Bluff, Temple of Epiphany, Swiftwater Clips, Vivid Creek, Wandering Fumarole, Landscape, and Crag. A pretty hefty number of tap lands. But again, this is a budget list, and some of those things just come with a lower price tag. Like I said, the gentleman who commissioned this deck was pretty happy with it when he played with it last week, and even though the price point down here reads $80.99, my TCG scans come in at $50, and I quite frequently sell budget decks like this that are between the $40 and $50 range for $20. I think Wizards of the Coast is pretty ridiculous with their commander deck prices lately. Actually, I think they've been pretty ridiculous with their commander deck prices always. And I like to put functional decks into the hands of new players that are affordable. I hope you really enjoyed this budget deck tech. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and you have a great day.